challenge, okay? You might have dogs and cats and kids and whatever running around your house right now, but let's just make a decision and make a choice to try to stay as present to your mat as possible and to where you are. And yes, pay those respects to, the dogs and the cats and the kids and the husbands, but use that as an opportunity to come back into the body, okay? And practice awareness and practice patience and practice self-love and harmony, because that's really what's going to get us through times like now. So I challenge you, be here, be right now. This is the only place you need to be. It's the perfect place to be. So with that being said, let's take some deep breaths, shall we? I'm in a deep kneeling position. You can be perhaps seated in a kneeling position, or maybe you're standing right now. But eyes are open. Wherever you are, just be here for a second. What we're going to do is we're going to take a few deep diaphragmatic inhales, okay? Because this first part is all about really connecting with our breath and connecting to our spine and accessing that. So nice tall posture. What we're going to do is take a few deep breaths in through our diaphragm together. Big inhale. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Let's do a few more of those. Really grounding down into your breath, envisioning pulling up through the spine, and exhaling, touching every vertebrae throughout. 2 more. Fill up the spine, collapse the spine. 1 more. Fully exhaling, getting rid of anything that you've been holding on to, trying not to brace, trying not to hold on. Let's do 1 more for big inhales, big strong exhales. Fantastic. Now, wherever you're seated, stay there. And what we're going to do is work our spine in a few different variations before we get going. We're going to start for the next few minutes very light, very passive-aggressive before we get going, okay? So hang with me. You can cross your arms. You can come to prayer pose, whatever position you are. Take a big inhale. Look up towards the ceiling. Big inhale. Spine is an extension. Exhale. Drop into a little bit of a flexion, or think of maybe doing a little crunch. 2 more. Filling up the spine. Mobilizing the spine. Fantastic. Now come up into a full kneeling position, hands behind the head, okay? So just relax for me. If you're in a deep seated position, just try to relax for me. Try not to brace. And what we're going to do is now go into a little bit of a lateral flexion. So it doesn't matter which way you go, but keep your hands behind your head and shift to this direction. And switch. Exhaling as you collapse down, inhaling up. 1 more here. Big, strong inhales. Big, strong exhales. Last one. Good. Now relax, shake the shoulders out, and we're going to combine those last 2 moves, okay? I'm going to show you from the side here. So hands back on our shoulders. Drop your chin, drop into a little bit of flexion, and then start to rock to the side, and we're going to make big rotations in our thoracic spine, trying to keep the lower part of your lumbar, the lower part of your spine supported, connected, in opposite direction. Rotate. Open up, looking up towards the ceiling, collapsing the chin. Last full rep. Big inhale. Big, strong exhale. Fantastic. Make your way into a full kneeling position. Now, if you need to have a little extra padding on your knees, just flop over the mat give yourself a little extra padding. So set up into a full kneeling position, okay? And from here, reach with one arm. We're essentially hitting our spine in all different directions to make sure that we're so supported during our sun salutations coming up. So reach with one arm, keep your eyes towards me, eyes on the on that extended arm, and then reach behind your body. Keep your eyes towards me, keep the hips towards me, and switch. Breathe. Eyes on me. Your glutes are engaged, so keep your pelvis tucked and reach. So we're just rotating from the middle part of our spine, our thoracic spine, and we're gonna finish out here at our spinal access point. So reaching and breathing, and perhaps we pick up the pace just a little for 3, for 2, for 1, and breathe. Relax, 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 relax. Make your way to a standing position, nice and smooth, and work to one end of your mat. It doesn't matter. Wherever you are, remember that's exactly where you should be right now, okay? So starting tall, and essentially you can call this a tree pose, a mountain. There's plenty of names for these words, just flow with me today. So stand tall, root down, squeeze your feet into the ground, make a big, tall posture. I'm combining my S's and my T's apparently. Root down, be here. Take a big inhale, reach up overhead. Leaning back just a little bit into a little bit of spinal extension. Keeping your feet engaged, keep your pelvis engaged. Exhale, forward fold. The hands are heavy. The head is heavy. The breath is still the focus. Inhale, flat back position. Again, you're gonna hear and see some traditional vinyasa flows with a little functional flair, we'll say. Let's go into flat back one more time. Exhale, forward fold, and from here, we're gonna inchworm, plant your hands, squeeze your hands, and slowly walk out into a high plank position. So your wrists are right below your shoulders. Pelvis is tucked. Squeeze the upper part of your thighs together. Now, make sure we're squeezing into our mat here, really pressing into the ground as much as possible. Try not to hang out here, okay? Press, hold, breathe. Be still. Stillness can expose some vulnerabilities. Let's embrace those vulnerabilities today. Inhale, downward facing dog. For this first rep, let's start to pedal out our heels here. Hips are high. Your gaze is maybe towards your thumb. Maybe it's towards your toes. Wherever that is, that's your gaze. And that's okay. Let's embrace stillness. Take a big inhale. Exhale, roll the spine forward, one vertebrae at a time, back in a high plank position. Chaturanga, but for this first rep, drop your knees, slowly descend into the chest. Let the chin drop into the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog position. Maybe we're hanging here. Maybe we're in Sphinx pose. That's okay, wherever it is for you. Remember, this is your practice. So, shoulder blades are down and back. Pelvis is tucked, looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank position. And walking the hands back towards the feet. Again, a little bit of functionality here. Isolate the spine, standing tall. Chin is tucked, shoulders up. Big inhale, reach up overhead. This time, come up onto your tippy toes. Press your big toe and your pinky toe into the ground. Push, reach. Maybe we lean back into a little bit of extension. Exhale, forward fold. Hold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Planting the hands, inchworm. High plank. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward. High plank. Chaturanga, choose it. Whether you drop to your knees, slowly descend, keep the elbows close to your body, chin drops, untuck the toe, inhale, Shoulder blades back. Pelvis is tucked. Exhale, forward fold. I mean downward facing dog. You get the point. Inhale, spinal roll back into high plank and walk the hands back to the feet. Good, 3 more of these. Inhale, overhead. Come up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back. Forward fold. Inchworm. Bend the knees. High plank. Hold. Downward dog. A little variation here. Right leg comes forward into a pigeon pose. Keep your hands planted on the ground. Let me get my block out of the way. Keep your hands planted and come into a little bit of spinal extension. Big inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Opposite leg comes forward. Keep the hands planted. Shoulder blades together. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold. Breathe. High plank position. Walk the hands back. Knees bent. Isolate. Inchworm. Hold. Downward dog. By now, you're starting to see the same moves over and over. Perhaps we're getting a little, left leg comes forward, a little more connected with these moves. Perhaps these moves are becoming a little deeper. Big inhale, spinal roll, high plank, back in to inchworm's position. Fantastic, we got 2 more. Come up onto the tippy toes. Ooh, I about fell over there. Keep the pelvis tucked. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back, inchworm. Downward dog. Pigeon. Pick a leg. Doesn't matter. Downward dog. Opposite leg. Downward facing dog. Roll the spine forward. Squeeze the belly button in towards the spine. Pause. Hold. Walk the hands back. Coming up overhead one last time. Big inhale. Up on the toes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Last time into the inchworm position. I promise. Maybe perhaps our shoulders are getting a little fired up by now. That's the point. Hips are high, downward dog. Right leg comes forward, pigeon pose. Left leg. Downward facing dog. Now from here, I'm gonna switch it up on you just a little bit. Let's pick a leg. In this case, I'm gonna go left leg. Let's put this left leg into extension. A nice straight back left side. What we're gonna do is start to pulse that leg for 10, 9, and keep your ankle flexed at a 90-degree angle for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stay here. Now that your planted foot, the one that's on the ground, we're gonna begin with a little bit of calf raise. Now keep pressing down equally through your big toe and your pinky toe. And we're calf raising for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Left leg comes forward. Warrior 1 position. So let me switch this up a little bit. So back leg is at a little bit of an angle, okay? A little bit of internal rotation. Front leg, step that leg forward as far as you possibly can. Lean into it. Shoulders rotated, hips rotated. Inhale. Open, open, open. Exhale. Back. Keep both hands planted here. And in this case, since our left leg is forward, inhale, bring the left arm up towards the ceiling. Reach. Now we're looking to create a straight line from this arm, my left arm, down into the right arm. You can drop this back knee if you'd like. You can even bring your block over if you'd like. And you can be here, okay? So it doesn't matter what position you're in, but hold, breathe. Fantastic. Exhale, Get rid of the block. Back up into warrior one position. Drop the hands. Feet point towards the camera. And then we're gonna kind of rotate to the opposite. And we're gonna make sure we get the opposite side as well. So left leg's a little internally rotated. Right leg is reached long out with the arms. Inhale, lean forward, lunge forward. Knee is stacked right over the ankle. Ground down into the back glute here. Reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, drop the hands. And in this case, we are going to leave the left hand planted here. Again, you can drop to the knee if you'd like, or leave that up, leave that glute extended. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling with the right side. And breathe. And breathe. Again, you can drop to the knee if you'd like. But the big thing here is to keep this knee nice and stable. Try not to be here. Just relax, hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Plant the hands, back up into warrior one position. Hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Fantastic. Make your way back to the starting point of your mat. Grab some water if you'd like, or some tea in this case. And we're gonna keep it going here. How's everybody feeling? We doing okay? We doing okay? 9:18? Cool. Do we have any comments, or does anybody have any questions so far about that? Nice. So essentially that was just a functional version of a sun salutation, okay? You've seen those in all of your yoga classes. And we're gonna kind of build on that, okay? So from here, let's go back into downward facing dog position. Big inhale, reach up overhead, inchworm down, downward facing dog position. So now it's gonna get a little weird, okay? So go back into that right leg extension, okay? You remember this move. The good Lord gave us 2 sides. Let's equal them out. Right leg pulses, 10, 9, 8. So it's just a little glute extension. It's about 10 degrees or like 3 inches or so. It's not much. Fire up the glutes for 2, 1. Now pause, hold, hips high, calf raise, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Hold, back up, right leg comes forward, warrior 2 position. So in this case, still keep the knees stacked over the ankle. Nice strong expression, arms are parallel, root down towards the back glute, hold. In this case, I'm looking over my right shoulder. Breathe, breathe. Inhale, reverse warrior 2. Exhale, warrior 1. Inhale, reverse. Exhale. 1 more. And exhale, creating length on the right side. Fantastic. Toes back to the camera. We've done this before. Root down. Nice, strong warrior 2 position. Pelvis is tucked. Pelvis is engaged. Reach. Squeeze the upper part of your thighs together. And breathe. Hold. Hold. For 2. For 1. Reverse warrior 2. Creating length from the left side body. Ribs are expanding. Intercostal muscles are being stretched. Exhale, warrior 2. Last one. Fantastic. Come all the way down, set up into downward facing dog position. You see how we did a little okey doke on our mat there? Sorry, not sorry. Now left leg comes into extension. Only this time, peel that hip open and hang. Maybe perhaps we're looking underneath our right armpit here. But what I want you to think about is keeping your big toe and your pinky toe really engaged on the planted side and open. Press the left arm down into the mat
and hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice and slow. Continue to peel open, dropping low. Now we're gonna set up into a tripod position, or I'm sure there's some other fancy name for this. And this is where essentially we're gonna pull out our dumbbell if you want it. You don't have to have the dumbbell here, by no means. In fact, I'll start out without the dumbbell. So, tripod, 1, 2, 3 points of contact, okay? So keep that hand engaged, reach up towards the ceiling, stack the shoulders, try to create a straight line from here all the way to the base, okay? Dropping low, this is where the dumbbell comes into play. Keep the elbow in a rack position, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Ooh, inhale up, did you hear that? That was my knee. Exhale down. That felt really, really amazing. By the way, popping joints is lubricating joints. Theoretically. Good, we got 2 more of these. Come on, team. Reach up, hip thrust, drop low. 1 more. Reach up, hip thrust, drop low. Get rid of the weight here. Kick back, open up into downward facing dog. And opposite, left leg extension. Open, hold. Did I just do this side? I think I just did that side. Look, team, I might be going crazy. This quarantine's got me mixing left and right. So big toes engage, pinky toes engage. Keep your right arm pressed down, peel the right hip open, and bend that knee. Maybe we're waving it. Maybe we're making little circles. Where's your gaze at? Maybe it's up towards your thumbs or it's underneath your armpit. That's okay. Wherever it is, keep going, peel open, and end up in a seated position. And here we are. We're on the other side. So if you choose to use the dumbbell, remember that's completely optional. But in this case, reaching, I'm getting my left and my right so confused here. So reaching up, create a strong line from the right hand all the way down into the left, ground down in the right, exhale, dropping low. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Drop it low. Get rid of this bad boy. Downward facing dog position. Pedal the heels, drop the knees, drop into a child's pose. This is gonna be your active recovery. While we're here, push the hips down, reach with the arms, squeeze your hands into the ground. I'm probably creating a muffling sound on the microphone, I'm sorry. Now walk your hands over to the right side body, creating a ton of space from your left rib cage to your left hips. Open and breathe. Pushing down into the mat. Switching sides. Nice and slow. Nice and slow, switching sides. Creating a ton of space from our right lower rib to our right hip. And just breathe. For 3. For 2. For 1, fantastic. So now that I know we're nice and warmed up, oh yes, towel from the, thank you, Eric. Everybody grab a towel if you need to, because that portion was mostly focused on lengthening dynamically. Okay, so yes, we did some stretching postures, but we brought some strength into that. And we're gonna continue to build up strength, okay? So, with that being said, I'm gonna take a little sip of my tea. I don't know why it came out with a little bit of a British accent. Well, then my pinky needs to be out. All right, team, here we go. So, with this next move, you can choose to bring in like a couple cans of soup if you want,
Or you can just choose to use your body weight, because that's all you need for this. And what we're gonna do is I'll show you from the side. We're gonna set up into essentially a long staggered position, okay? And we're gonna start to get into a low lunge position, okay? So if you don't have anything in your hands, make two fists, hands out to the side, descend into a lower lunge position. Now, the knee doesn't have to be tracking so far out toward your toes in a lunge, not this position. But what I wanna do is I wanna hold here with the knee about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. Chest is up, chin is retracted, hold. It's okay if you're finding these little shakes in your thighs. That's what we're looking for. In fact, squeeze the upper part of your thighs together. It's gonna be a weird little sensation. Also, try not to let your knee be collapsing here. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Come up, relax, switch sides. A little static lunge again. We did some traditional vinyasa postures, and now we're also going to switch it up a little bit. Hold, maybe your hands are behind your head. Maybe they're here, doesn't matter. Find a little shake in the leg, that's okay. The knee is a couple inches off the ground, hold. 5, 4, 3, keep it stable, 2, 1. Good, switch sides. We're gonna do one more on each side, okay? Very simple here, team. Try not to overthink this. Not a complicated movement, right? Keep that back glute, in this case it's my left. Keep that glute engaged and kind of lean forward just a bit and sink down. That's gonna help open up a little in that hip capsule, but hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. We got one more on this side, okay? Dropping right into it, come on. Nice and smooth, nice and simple. Breathe. Hold. I like to tell people to put a couple glasses of water on your shoulders. So try not to be here, right? Just try to relax. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing tall. Breathe. If you need to kind of go for a little walk after that, that's okay. And set up into your, and you'll hear in some traditional yoga classes, a chair pose, a chair squat, a yoga squat. I'm gonna challenge you to choose your squat for this next move, okay? Everybody's body is so different. I don't wanna limit that. My feet are a little more open, my hips are a little more open, but that's just my preference. Again, it's preferential. Drop low into a squat position only with our hands. See how high you can get them, or see how close you can get them towards your ears, right? So come down, hold. 3, 2, 1. Standing tall, nice and slow. Descending right back down. 10. Hold. Up. 9. So, I wanted to make sure when I was programming this that I was giving you moves that were designed to lengthen your body and to open your body up. Because this is a time when we've all been pretty closed off. I think we can all agree on that. So now we're doing more moves that kind of imitate life, yeah? I mean, we squat in life, we lunge in life, right? And that, my friend, is preventative maintenance, okay? And doing things like practicing yoga, or going on a run, or getting your workout in, whatever that is, that positive outlet that makes you feel you, do that. And do that without judgment, and do that without hesitation every single day. We've got 5. We did 20. We're gonna do 20 of these, by the way. 4. Good. We've got 3. Tuck the pelvis at the top. 2. Last one. Hold here, though. Hold. Now, do not regret this decision, is what I'm telling myself. A good friend of mine, Simone, she taught me something called a frog squat. I'm gonna show you from the side. Stay here, though. Come into a squat position, shoot the hips up towards the air, or towards the sky about 2 inches, and then drop. So it's just a little transition in the hips. And we're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand tall, nice and slow. Breathe, relax. Breathe, relax. Slowly make your way down flat onto your stomach. I've got Elio hair on my mat. Elio is my cat, by the way. I don't know how his hair got down here. And let me get this stuff out of the way. We're gonna give our legs a little bit of a rest here and continue to work our spinal column in a very active way. So what we're gonna do, let me get my plan out of the way. Hands beside you, pinkies facing the mirror, in my studio, pinkies facing the ceiling here, and come up into an active position. So active meaning we're gonna peel our thighs off the ground and we're gonna try to peel our ribs off the ground. So our pinkies are shooting up towards the ceiling as much as possible, pointing your toes and dropping low. We're gonna do that 9 more times. Coming up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, dropping low. 8, squeeze the shoulder blades together. 7. Opening the chest, squeezing the thighs. This is a total body move. I'm sure you've been feeling that already. We've got 3 more. We've got 2 more. And we've got 1 more. Fantastic. Hold. 3. Notice that I'm not looking up like this. Keep your chin retracted. Keep your spine neutral. Drop low. Set up in a T position. So your palms are facing the ground here. We've got 10 reps just like this. Pulse in the T position and drop. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. Hear that car alarm going off? It's Joanna's. Hey, if you live at the district and you hear a car alarm going off right now, that's Joanna. Good, we got 2 more, come on. Up. And hold on this last one. Hold. 5, 4. See if you can get your glutes off the ground. See how far you can get your ribs off the ground. And dropping low, fantastic. Now, we're overhead. So essentially, we're gonna hit our shoulders in all 3 different directions, but very actively, very dynamically. So thumbs in this case are gonna be facing the ceiling, okay? And 10 reps, reaching overhead, dropping low, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, last one. Hold, hold, hold. Peel the ribs off of the ground, get the thighs off of the ground, and descend and relax. You can cross your arms underneath your forehead and take a couple of deep breaths here, okay? Just relax, let the heartbeat come down a little bit. Hold. Taking rest, not only when we're doing strength components, but learning to rest in life and to pace ourselves in life is a whole nother learning curve, my friends, that I believe that's where our peace kind of lies, is within our pace. So remember that. Our peace kind of lies within our pace, and respect that, okay? You guys feeling all right? We're gonna set up into a traditional bow position, okay? This is a move I'm not the best at. I've been working on it, but it's something I want to work on it with you guys too. So we're gonna go essentially back into this position, only now bend the knees, okay, as much as you can, and reach for them. And I like to reach for my ankles. Some people reach for their toes. Some people reach for their pinky toes, whatever that is for you. Again, this is a preferential day for yoga. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick into our hands. We're gonna squeeze our shoulder blades together. We're gonna peel our ribs off of the ground. Peel our thighs off of the ground. Looking up as much as possible, not restricting any of your airflow. and hold. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly drop. Descend. Arms underneath the forehead. Breathe. We're getting near the end of our practice today. I challenge you to not fade on me. Stay with me. We're almost there. It's a quick, accessible session that you can get with no equipment. Ow! See what I'm saying? You got to work on that move. So, bow position, last one. Kick into the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades together, peel the thighs off of the ground, peel the ribs off of the ground, hold. Looking up towards the ceiling. I chose to program a very vulnerable move for me. I'm showing off my vulnerabilities, and hey, you know what? That's what yoga's all about, really, is realizing that we're all different. We're all on our own journey, but there shouldn't be any judgment there. Relax, slowly dropping down. Arms underneath the forehead. One last time, hold. We're almost there, team. We're almost there. From this piece, we're gonna set up into essentially an elbow plank position, okay? A little more active, but we're gonna combine a little strength with a little recovery. So come up into an elbow plank position, pelvis is tucked, squeeze the upper part of your thighs together, push your hands down into the ground. There should be no distance or no valley in your thoracic spine. That should be nice and protracted. Hold in this position, only we're gonna rock forward and back, and forward and back. For 10, breathe, 9, push back into the heels, rock up to the toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Instead of in a Sphinx pose, here's our active recovery. Push down into the hands, push down into your elbows, but pull the elbows into the body, tuck the pelvis, look up towards the ceiling, and tuck the chin. Inhale up. Exhale through. So flow through this for a couple more reps at your own pace. Staying in the body, staying in the breath. Fantastic. Back into the elbow plank position. Elbows right below the shoulders, pelvis is tucked, nice neutral spine. Hold. Once you've locked in your position, we're going to start going from north to south. Keep your pelvis engaged. Spine is long. Your intention is on moving with intention. On doing the things we've got to do for our mental health and our physical self, spiritual self. Bring it all to the mat. 3, 2, 1. Sphinx pose. Oh, a little fire in your shoulders, yeah? Sorry, not sorry. Push your elbows into the ground, push your hands into the ground, tuck the pelvis, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Drop the chin. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time, look forward, like you're kind of looking at the TV. But we're going to look from left to right. Very simple here. Very simple. Breathing. Getting into positions that we're not necessarily keen on getting into every day. But again, doing things that maybe make us feel vulnerable with safety and security in mind. That's where healing takes place. That's where growth takes place. And that's what it's all about, my friends. Do me a favor. make your way flat onto your back. If you want something underneath your head, or if you need something underneath your knees, whatever that is for you. But we're gonna end up closing out into our final Savasana position. All right, so flat on our backs. This is a kind of a sweaty, condensed version of a 60 or 90 minute Vinyasa traditional flow. And I'm glad that I got to share that with you. So I challenge you for the next couple of seconds to let your heart rate come down. Sit in gratitude. In peace. In harmony. In love. And in laughter. Let that be the theme of today, the entire day. Peace, harmony, love, laughter. Enjoy this. And start to make little movements in your wrists. Maybe you're making big rotations. Maybe you're squeezing your hands together. Maybe you're rocking your neck from left to right. But rock to your right side, nice and slow. Or left side, it doesn't matter. And from there, we're gonna slowly make our way into a seated position with, I have foggy gloves, glasses. Can't talk, whatever. So team, how's everybody feeling? I want to send you a ton of gratitude and a ton of love for being here. If you made it throughout that whole workout, big kudos. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them for you. But just remember that with a little bit of intention and a little bit of humbleness and a little bit of gratitude goes a long way. And being able to sit and stop throughout our day, take a deep breath, respect all the beauty around you, and then keep it moving has so much more power than sometimes we think. So thank you so much for being here. Namaste.